Marking the centennial anniversary of the 1921 Tulsa Race Massacre has been targeted by vandals.
Police now investigating the incident, but according to the gallery owner, the NYPD is falling short on actually tracking down who did it and why. We're joined this morning by the owner, Dr. Rico Wright, who is demanding that the police classify this as a hate crime now. Dr. Wright, thank you for being here this morning. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
So let's talk about this. You know, the vandalism happened sometime overnight on Sunday into Monday. That's what we know, right? On the actual anniversary of the Tulsa Massacre. Yeah. Do you believe that's why your gallery in particular was targeted?
Most definitely. I mean, it was the deliberate and intentional statement. We consider it a hate crime. You know, the way we look at it, it's a kind of whitewashing of Black Wall Street. And we know that that's what is happening around the world with respect to gentrification and people just not wanting to see Black entrepreneurs successful.
Is there any surveillance camera footage from your gallery or others nearby those businesses around there that may have caught the person or persons who did this?
That's a possibility. The NYPD is investigating that now. We suspect that they'll be able to ascertain some information. You know, yesterday was Memorial Day. Many people were traveling and such. So today seems to be a better day to investigate, and so we should have something by end of day.
So kind of walk us through the timeline here. When you called the police, they told you the incident was not considered hate speech. Did they explain why?
Well, they said, according to the law, merely smearing white paint on a glass window does not constitute a hate crime. And at first I thought, you know, here we are again trying to explain what hate is, what racism is. And I decided, you know what, I'm going to stand up for what's right. And I went back to the police officer with all due respect. And I said, Miss, just because there's not a noose hanging on my door does not mean that this here does not constitute a hate crime, or at the very least hate speech. And so then the police officer, and I do have a lot of respect for her now, she did her due diligence. She went online, she Googled Tulsa Race Massacre and Black Wall Street. And that's when she came back to me and said, okay, sir, we're going to call our supervisor to investigate this further. But this is just a reminder, you know, had I not said anything, I think they would have just left.
Well, how long have you been operating this gallery in the neighborhood? And has anything like this ever happened before?
Yeah, I've been operating since October 2020, and nothing even close to this has ever occurred. And so to me, it's no coincidence that on the anniversary, the centennial anniversary of the Tulsa Race Massacre, something like this happens to a Black Wall Street gallery. Nothing like this happened to any other business around. And it wasn't as if the smearing happened on some other part of the business. It was on the letters Black Wall Street gallery.
And I think it's important to point out that it was only your business on the block that had that kind of vandalism. So thank you for pointing that out. But I want to talk about, you know, you're originally from Tulsa. Your family roots trace back to Tulsa during the time of the massacre. So just for our audience, can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I'm a fourth generation Tulsan. My great grandfather was around during the heyday of Black Wall Street. He went from being a sharecropper to a share owner, landowner. And so I think for our family, you know, the terrible reality is that growing up, nobody talked about the massacre. I attended Tulsa Public Schools. It was never discussed. In 9th grade, I took an Oklahoma history class, never learned about the massacre, never even learned about Black Wall Street. And so what you have in Tulsa is a situation whereby white people do not want to talk about the massacre because they're ashamed, and Black people don't want to talk about it because there's never been any reparations. And we're just tired of asking for reparations.
Well, how long do you think this exhibit's going to be up for you? And are you concerned that the vandals will, hopefully not, but could strike again?
Well, you know, vandals will be vandals, and we're not concerned about that. We're preoccupied with exhibiting these 21 Black artists who have created some incredible works that will be on view through Juneteenth, June 19th. And we're going to have a big celebration on June 19th, and we invite the public to come. You know, we don't concern ourselves with hate. You know, we exist in love, and we're focused on unity and healing. And so for us, we're going to continue on with our program. And if the vandals come back, you know, we'll just find another way to remind them that we're here and we're going nowhere.
Yeah, exactly. Not stopping with your message of unity and healing. Dr. Wright, thank you for coming on. Keep us posted, okay?
Okay, thank you both.
Thank you.